Hello to all you beautiful people of the internet. Welcome to another Caterpillar file, and this time we're looking at Peter Anderson, who was mistakenly known as Pete Dotson in the comics, but I'm pretty sure that's just a one-off mistake. He is male, his hair is black, he is mid to late 30s, and before the apocalypse he was a doctor and continued to be a doctor throughout the entire apocalypse. Before the apocalypse, little is known about him, except that he was married to Jessie Anderson and had a son named Ron Anderson. He likely lived near Alexandria before the outbreak and was also a doctor, like we mentioned before. I'd say near because there were four original residents to Alexandria. He wasn't among them, so that's why I said possibly near. In the volume Life Among Them, Peter is seen attending Douglas Munro's house party with his family. He finds Nicholas and Rick talking and interrupts asking what Nicholas has been doing these past few days. When his son Ron asks if he can go and find Mikey, to which Peter agrees, Rick notices that Ron has a black eye and becomes suspicious of Peter that Peter has been abusing him. Yeah, imagine that in the apocalypse. In the volume Too Far Gone, while Rick is on his morning patrol around the safe zone, he notices Peter sleeping outside on his porch. Peter wakes up and says hello, but Rick tells him that he does not even know his name. Peter then introduces himself as Pete, never Peter. He explains that he is sleeping on the porch because of a fight with his wife Jessie, which happens frequently. Peter then apologizes about complaining to Rick, saying that he has heard what Rick's group had to live through and feels like a schmuck complaining about his problems. Rick tells him it is fine and requests that he ask Jessie about letting him sleep inside on the couch, saying that he will freeze to death if he continues to sleep outside. Peter tells him he will do, and Rick walks away, not before giving Peter one last suspicious glance about his behaviour. Later, Rick discusses Peter with Michonne. He explains his belief that there is something strange about him, telling her that Peter's son had a black eye when the survivors entered the safe zone, and that Peter's wife asks for permission to do things. Michonne tells him that she trusts his instincts, and if he feels something is wrong, he should investigate. Rick takes her advice and asks Jessie about Peter's strange behaviour. He tells him that he is sometimes violent towards her, but not Ron. Peter suddenly walks through the door and asks why Rick is in the house. Jessie tells him that Rick was asking about Ron coming over to his house tomorrow. Pete seems to not suspect a thing, and Rick walks away, still unsatisfied about Peter. Rick later brings up Peter's behaviour to Douglas, telling him that he is a dangerous man. Douglas tells him that he can't do anything and that he is a doctor. Rick angrily tells Douglas that Peter needs to choose between exile or death. Douglas tells him he does not want to do this, and Rick walks off towards Peter's home. When he arrives, Peter greets him at the door, angrily asking what he wants this time. Rick responds by punching him in the face, demanding to know that he has been hurting his family. Peter tells him that he has lost it and engages in a brawl with him. Rick tackles him through a window and the fight continues outside. Many people rush to see what the commotion is about, and Rick tells Peter that if he touches his family again, he will kill him. Douglas steps in and tells Rick to stop. However, Rick pulls a gun on Douglas, telling him that he is doing the right thing and keeping Alexandria safe. Michonne sneaks up behind him and hits him over the head with a rock, telling him to look at what he has done. After their fight, Peter is seen patched up and healed by Denise Cloyd, who asks him if he knows why Rick would do such a thing. Peter does not respond and continues to glare at Rick in the opposite room. After recovering from his injuries, Peter is seen near the front gate of Alexandria. Jessie leaves them and kicks him out of their house. Peter tries to stop her, but Michonne intervenes and tells him to let it go. Peter is then relocated to another home. This starts to dwell on his mind and drive him insane. He starts to ramble about it not being his house, and throws a desk in a violent outburst. He calms down after setting eyes upon a set of kitchen knives, intending to use one to kill Rick Grimes. Peter takes the kitchen knife, sorry. I don't know why you would tell the kitchen knife anything. Peter takes the kitchen knife and heads over to Scott's funeral. When he arrives, he is greeted by Douglas and Heath, who ask him what he wants. He angrily snaps back, saying that they can all kill Rick for him, so he does not have to. Rick tells him to calm down before things get out of control. Peter then blames Rick for his family leaving him, but Rick retorts, saying that his family is safe now and are not living in fear of him. This causes Peter to snap and pull out his knife, threatening Rick's life. Regina Monroe steps in and tells him to put the knife away. This, however, further angers Peter, and he slices open Regina's neck in response. He is immediately tackled by Spencer Monroe, and Rick holds him at gunpoint. Peter says it's all Rick's fault and drove him to do this. Douglas then tells Rick to shoot Peter, and he does so, ending his life. Peter's death, however, was a factor in causing the zombie herd to attack Alexandria, because when Rick shot Peter, the sound alerted Derek and his group to the safe zone. When Derek's group were dealt with, it moved a massive herd of zombies to attack and almost destroy Alexandria. So yeah, Rick should have used a different method to kill Peter than the gunshot. So that is it for Peter Anderson. Let me know what you think of this character. Do you think the TV series did him justice? Or do you think they should have stuck with this comic storyline? If you like what you see, please have a like and please subscribe if you want to see more. If you don't like what you see, you can either dislike it or you can just leave. Whatever you choose to do, I don't care. And have a good day.